In our modern world, we're surrounded by noise, distraction, and the constant promise of the next big thing that will finally make us happy. We chase careers, wealth, and fleeting pleasures all in the name of fulfillment. Yet, for so many, a profound sense of emptiness remains. A quiet despair that gnaws at the edges of our busy lives. Have you ever felt it? This feeling that, despite having so much, something essential is missing. We're living in an age of unprecedented material prosperity and technological advancement. Yet we're also facing a staggering mental health crisis. It's a paradox that begs the question, why? The numbers are hard to ignore. According to the World Health Organization, depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. In the United States alone, the CDC reports that the percentage of adults who received any mental health treatment rose significantly in recent years. More people than ever are seeking help. And prescriptions for antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications have skyrocketed. It seems that for all our progress, we are lonelier, more anxious, and more adrift than ever before. Could there be a connection between this growing void and the steady decline of faith in our society? For centuries, faith provided a framework for meaning, purpose, and community. It offered answers to life's biggest questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? It gave people a sense of belonging to something larger than themselves. But in recent decades, we've witnessed a dramatic shift. A growing chorus of voices has declared that we've outgrown God, that science has replaced faith, and that humanity is the master of its own destiny. This sentiment echoes through our culture, from academic halls to social media feeds. The message is clear. We don't need an ancient book or a divine being to tell us how to live. We can create our own values, our own morality, our own meaning. But in this grand experiment of self-reliance, are we finding the freedom we sought, or are we simply casting ourselves into a deeper, more isolating void? When we remove the ultimate source of objective truth and purpose, what are we left with? We're left to construct our own meaning from scratch, a task that can be utterly overwhelming. Think of it like building a house. For generations, people built their lives on the solid foundation of faith. It was a rock, something dependable and unchanging. Now, many are attempting to build their lives on the shifting sands of personal feelings, cultural trends, and fleeting desires. The structure might look impressive for a while, but without a solid foundation, it's vulnerable to the storms of life. When tragedy strikes, when disappointment comes, when the inevitable questions of mortality arise, the sandy foundation gives way, and the whole structure can come crashing down. This isn't a new struggle. The Bible is filled with stories of people who turned away from their spiritual foundation and found themselves lost. The book of Judges captures this perfectly with a recurring, haunting phrase. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes. What followed was not a utopia of personal freedom, but a cycle of chaos, violence, and despair. They abandoned their anchor and were tossed about by the waves of their own impulses and desires. We see a parallel in the story of King Solomon. Here was a man who had everything the world could offer: unimaginable wealth, wisdom, power, and pleasure. He pursued knowledge, built great works, and denied himself nothing. He embarked on the ultimate secular quest for fulfillment. And what was his conclusion? He wrote in the book of Ecclesiastes, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity." He found that everything under the sun, when pursued for its own sake, ultimately leads to a feeling of emptiness and chasing after the wind. His worldly pursuits, devoid of their connection to the eternal, were ultimately meaningless. Is our modern society any different? We chase degrees, promotions, and a curated online image, believing these things will satisfy us. We binge-watch shows to escape our thoughts and scroll endlessly through social media, comparing our lives to the highlight reels of others. We pursue pleasure as the highest good, only to find it's a temporary fix that leaves us wanting more. We have become like Solomon with the world at our fingertips, yet feeling a profound sense of futility. We are doing what is right in our own eyes, and the result is a culture rife with anxiety. depression, and a deep, unfulfilled longing. The rise of deaths of despair in recent decades is a tragic testament to this crisis of meaning. Researchers have noted a shocking increase in deaths from suicide, drug overdoses, and alcohol-related liver disease, particularly among certain demographics. These are not just statistics. They are stories of people who lost hope, who felt their lives had no value or purpose. They are the casualties of a world that promised them everything but delivered a profound emptiness. When you remove the belief in a loving creator who imbues every life with inherent worth and an eternal purpose, it becomes dangerously easy for people to believe their lives don't matter. But this isn't a message of despair. It's a message of hope. The emptiness we feel is not a design flaw. It's a homing signal. The French philosopher Blaise Pascal famously wrote about a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every person, which cannot be filled by any created thing, but only by God, the Creator. That ache, that longing, that feeling that something is missing, is pointing you toward the only thing that can truly satisfy the human soul. The biblical narrative offers a radically different path from the one our culture promotes. It doesn't promise a life free from pain or difficulty. Instead, it offers something far more valuable, a foundation that cannot be shaken. It offers a purpose that extends beyond our lifespan, a hope that transcends our circumstances, and a love that is unconditional. Jesus said, "I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." This isn't just about eternal life after we die. It's about a rich, meaningful, and abundant life right here and now. It's a life where our worth isn't determined by our accomplishments or our social media following, but by the fact that we are made in the image of a loving God. It's a life where we find community, not in fleeting online interactions, but in a genuine family of faith that supports and cares for one another. It's a life where we can find peace, not by numbing our anxieties, but by casting them on a God who cares for us. If you're watching this and you feel that sense of emptiness, that quiet despair, know that you are not alone, and know that there is an answer. It's not found in another purchase, another promotion, or another distraction. It's found in turning back to the foundation. It's found in seeking the one who created you and knows you intimately. The solution to the emptiness of a secular age is not a new philosophy or a self-help program. It's a person. His name is Jesus, and he is waiting with open arms to fill that void and give you the life you were always meant to live. The choice before us is the same one that has faced humanity for millennia. Will we continue to build our lives on the shifting sands of a godless world, doing what is right in our own eyes and reaping the whirlwind of anxiety and despair? Or will we choose to build on the rock, the firm foundation of faith that offers true meaning, lasting hope, and a peace that surpasses all understanding? The modern mental health crisis is not just a medical issue. It's a spiritual one. And the cure begins when we look up from the emptiness of the world and fix our eyes on the one who can make us whole. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content that explores the intersection of faith and modern life. God bless.